There we go. All right. I forgot to make the blah 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 blah. Homunculapa. Oh, don't Google that word. Don't Google that word, please. That is bad. Very bad. There we go. Do.
So that's one.
There we go. Nice and easy. All right. The game does not want to give me music, huh? Let me give you some music. Yep. Oh, let me do. Oh, why can I not the thing? Game, please. Game. Yep, Alright, let me just stand up. Ah, my. Ow. My leg just cracked there. No matter. Alrighty. Oh, sorry there. I need to stand every 2 hours, or I may have blood clot in my body sooner or later. Yep. Now, let's do the stretch, shall we? First thing first. Yep. Alright. We do the stretch a little bit. Ow, my knee. Oh. Alright. Little bit. So how are you? A little bit more. Anyway. Alright. First thing first, repeat after me. Raise your hand above your head. Again. Put it down. Now, again up above your head. Stretch till you hear some crack from your bicep. Good. And let the blood from your shoulder go down into your heart. Yep. Did you know? Now, we do it again. Up. And down. Up. And down. Good. So anyway, did you know that your blood, that the blood on the either side of your shoulder will not go to your heart? It will stay there if you don't put it up or down. Yeah. You did not know that, huh? Me and my full of knowledge. I don't. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what can we doing today? More and
They
do.
weren't gonna make fun.
All
They were
protein.
never gonna.
We hogging, boys.
I tuned out.
Oh yeah,
See
ma'am.
myself. That-
Did I delete ma'am?
Just a pumpkin. Good Trump.
No.
After that, I don't know how I'll vote.
Do,
Voted
do,
Libertarian, I
do.
voted Party above. After that, I just voted.
Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Did I take Camion for me? Oh, I delete the Camion. My retarded brain thought otherwise. Oh well. Look at that. Yep. Alrighty.
His life
I just double.
during
Did I double my
did not
production? Who knows? Let's see. I did follow my ore production. No, more
I
like
get it.
what?
You know,
My
I
ore
get
production.
it.
Do, do, do. Alrighty.
But just
Right. 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 The thing I was running like a headless chicken to get is not there. Oh well. Nya nya nya
Access to a private
nya.
Discord.
Nya 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 nya
Members of the videos
nya.
have peak
I don't
day in the
know.
street life.
I wish to know.
Check out at
How are
members
you?
only. There'll be 4 by Friday. One more
All right.
family
Perfect.
member. Sticks to 1 to 2. And you'll-
Perfect. We have enough.
If you don't like Discord, you got members of the
No,
videos. If you don't like
no,
members of the videos, you got the Discord. Both some sticks. That
do do
live show.
do. Oops. Let's turn off the music so you can all enjoy this momentous
Here
thing.
it is. Nope. There were 2 attempts.
Ooh, look at that.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation. Congratulations, the Phase 1 project part shipment is now ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 1 will be completed and the distribution platform will be constructed. After completion of Phase 1, the technologies of Tiers 3 and 4 will become available in the hub. Highlights are automated power, steel production, personnel transportation, and many more. Completing Phase 2 of project assembly is your next main objective. New project parts will need to be produced and delivered to the space elevator as you have done previously. Continue to construct, automate, explore and exploit for a better fix-it future.
Yes.
I don't think it's funny,
Alrighty.
and
We
I actually believe
are
this is
go.
more sinister. At the very end.
Alright. Look up.
By the way, this guy sucks at his job.
Complete phase 1 of space elevator.
Very end of
I give you the elevator.
it did happen. They were trying to do.
There we go. Oh,
We played no part.
that is
Phase 1
my
of project
doing.
assembly completed. This is only the beginning of project assembly, the first step towards saving the day. You have performed adequately so far. Reminder, not only is Fix-It saving humanity, it is saving all of Earth, including kittens and puppies. It is statistically likely that you appreciate the continued existence of kittens and/or puppies. Continue the work for their sake. Continue the work for Fix-It. It is time to start the work on Phase 2 of project assembly.
Yay.
Ever? Did he have voting?
We are doing thing.
It's
Right.
not my place to get
Do,
in
do,
their face
do,
about
do,
it
do,
or,
do,
you know, make them
do.
feel stupid or-
Alright, let's turn on the music
I
again.
get it. But like at the end of this video, well, we have. It is fine.
There we go. How's that for some chill music? I need 1,000 thing. I need to complete automate thing. All right, tier 3 power.
They do it anyway. Day after this, I believe, they trotted out the
Tractor.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I say now. This completely useless. The most trash thing I have ever did. See production now. This is what I want my tier 3 to be.
Here's now my
But
opinion that the people who are responsible actually
I need things to do. Fix it blueprint. Build gun upgrade blueprint.
idiot followers were harassing them.
Conveyor mark 3. There we
I
go.
thought that was ridiculous.
Steel
Yeah,
production. Our
they made like a target.
Hyper 2. Nice. Well,
They're the-
let's get powers sorted.
they're the-
All right.
Money.
Da 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 da. All right.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's just the crazy Trump thing. Have to,
All right. Let's be getting honest. Ah, my back.
We absolutely did. So the comprehensive did this, we were banned from 8 Democrats do that. They put
Oh right, the
laws
thing.
like
The thing I should be doing. The thing I forgot to keep doing constantly. The meme of me.
Trump's gonna win.
Alright. Nah. Not. I am not meme worthy enough. Look at that.
Years. See, Fox right now.
Continuing on.
Back at it. Well, the attempt was,
Anyway,
like,
let me get
disgusting.
something done.
The campaign wrote
Reinforced frame plate. I mean.
I think comedy can be much right now. Also,
All right.
funny.
More plate. So currently, I need like 200% increase on iron production.
Like this is the same network that.
Let's see. This is rod.
SNL, but multiple times. Like, recall, we clicked Austin. Actually, they started their show like it was a funeral. Not being fun. Time ago. Pete McKinnon. Leonard Cohen. Ooh, yeah.
Yep.
Tribute to like Frank. That's our
Up.
election. I mean,
Oh my lord.
people are well, they just
Do,
they
do,
don't
do,
ever
do,
take
do,
any
do.
responsibility. To be clear, they have done Trump funded it.
Copy.
However, had like
Oh yeah, control. Yeah. See, there's a thing. Control B, Control V. Look at that.
You know, think that
Yeah.
Alex Jones on his show
Yep.
was fun. A couple of weeks. It
Yeah.
was said after that. So by the mainstream
Plate
media's
in
own
production.
standards,
Uh,
there are a lot of folks, Mr. This one of these scenarios isn't
All right.
attempt. Like was now, you know, this was funny.
do. Sad that I can just put on the merger. But oh well, what can you do?
Peaceful, terrible incident.
Alrighty. The plate is good. Is the pipe
Yeah,
working?
I not personally,
Yeah, the pipe is working.
but I will say
The fight is still ongoing, I
House
suppose.
Yours Trump looked bad, big JD man. Hilarious. Is there anybody who really
Is really the
gives a crap what
shit is really that
there is nobody
back up?
that watches just don't believe
Let me check.
that votes for
Da, 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 da. I just forgot to put on something.
I just don't. I don't think.
I think I forgot to put on something.
Watches TV
Yeah, I forgot to put on the thing. There we go. Yeah, I was questioning, how did they put up so fast? They didn't.
We know how they would react. We know, put it this way, it's about the democracy. We know with one.
Alrighty.
It was an attempt. It would be claiming. It would be saying, "Oh my God, we
Yeah, right.
Rhetoric." But because it's Trump, cool time. Absolutely just.
I'm not using
a lot of
yeah, I'm not using that anytime soon, so yeah. Alright. And it's screw.
Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it.
Alright. Hype is Rod is doing good. Continue on with the do I do this? Yeah, I forgot to do the thing. My tortation remains good and strong, I see. Yep.
Representation is one of those buzzwords that are tossed around, along with diversity, equity, inclusion, all related but slightly different terms. Diversity.
Alright, so instead now 40, it's now 60. Good.
Inviting in them.
Oh, right, 40. Alright.
Means allocating different resources to individuals who all have their levels of ability in order to ensure they all arrive at the same outcome. This is in contrast to equality.
There we go. Yeah. Now we're making one more floor.
No pre-existing. Each of these ideas.
And as we learn from this floor, it should be 4.
Steel sounds like it might be good, but they all
4 war segment.
still have
Yeah,
serious
yeah.
advantages that progressives tend to ignore. You'll be called a bigot if you ask about them. But today I want to talk specifically about representation. What is representation?
1, 2.
Well, the dictionary gives us 2 pretty good definitions right off the bat. The action of speaking or acting
1,
on behalf
2,
of someone,
3, 4.
and the description or portrayal of someone or something in a particular way. Locally speaking, the first one sounds like political representation. The second one sounds like representation in media or cultural representation. Representation is a word that's
how
used
do I
a
make it
lot nowadays,
wall?
especially if you're in more progressive spaces. But it's
I
also
can
a word that
get
most
the
progressives
thing.
would be hard for us to actually understand, in my opinion. Activists might claim they want more
transport
black
jump pad.
representation or queer representation in some specific space. Let's take political commentary as an example. If you were to point out the success of people like Zuby or Blair White, the progressive activists would immediately say, no. Those
So my
people don't
peace of
count."
mind will
I've
do
also
this.
seen people say, we need more female authors. No, Ayn Rand doesn't count. But why doesn't she? These examples aren't politically aligned with the progressive movement, conservatives and libertarians. But why wouldn't Blair White fulfill the progressive demand for trans representation? If the progressive replied to you, they might just call you a bigot at this point. If they replied, they would probably say, well, she's not political. And what does that even mean? Why is that required for representation? Well, just because progressives don't know what the fuck they're talking about doesn't mean that I'm going to stay mired in ignorance. Maybe a year and change ago, I bought Professor Hannah Pitkin's 1967 book, The Concept of Representation. It was on the reading list of the load. I've only managed to get around to it.
Alright.
As a
Press,
professor at
and
UF
then
Berkeley,
I
Pitkin's
want to
magnum
go
opus is probably
just
my book,
up.
And having now read it,
Only
it's
up.
important. It's also really dry and through. Most of this video
Now
will
at
be
your local
information from that
hospital.
book and insights. The use of the word represent is the Latin representare, which means to make present what is otherwise absent. You present a thing that was already. For example, if you draw a picture of a real house, that is a representation of that house. It is representative house.
We are
Quality of the
doing this
drawing is found in the fact
because
that you represent it. Therefore, to represent means present again what is found in the world, generally a facsimile of the real. It was not initially used to describe people representing other people. By the Middle Ages, representare was used to
I hope you're not having a seizure there.
Catholic Church,
Ow.
representing Christ
My knee.
in church literature. However, this didn't initially mean that the Roman cardinals granted the agency of these gifts. Rather, they were their embodiment. By the 13th century, the term was being used in France to refer to the personification of the collective mind. For example, if a community needed representation in court by an attorney, that attorney was called the community. And by 1595, individual English knights noticed that they all had slightly different, but mostly similar petitions, and that they could present those petitions collectively in order to appear more powerful. They began to have an awareness of what we would now call class consciousness, in that despite being knights from all over England, the fact that they were all summoned to Parliament, the king or members of state gave them a cause.
Look at that.
Themselves as members of Parliament, having similar aligned interests. First use of the word represent in English came in De Republica Anglorum, 1583, which fit in quotes, but I found the original line. The second section, titled Of the Parliament in Authority Thereof, Sir Thomas Smith writes, the Parliament of England represents and has power of the whole realm, both the head and the following, for every Englishman is present, either in person or by procuration and attorney, of what preeminence, state, dignity, or quality he may be, from the prince to the lowest person of England. Consent of the Parliament is taken to be every man's.
All right, nice. I can do that.
Smith is accurately describing the liberal concept of political representation. As the members of Parliament represent the various populations of England, all members of Parliament symbolically it is as if all the people of England meet, regardless of their social class. And when Parliament makes a decision,
all right. If I want this, I need to have Hub push around.
However, this is before
here.
liberalism. John Locke wouldn't be born until 1632, 50 years later. This is because liberal political philosophy, before it was codified by Enlightenment, Locke existed as an informal set of traditions organically developed in the UK. That's a very deep topic for another time. The point is, it's around here in history where the word representation begins to be used to refer to people representing other people. Pitkin identifies 4 ways in which the word representation is used. He labels them formalistic, descriptive, symbolic, and substantiative. Formalistic representation is what Pitkin also refers to as authorization. It is the power to be an agent.
Which one is my
hat? This view initially comes from Thomas Hobbes' Leviathan. In the modern day, we consider only elected positions to truly be political. Not unelected ones like dictators.
All right.
However, Hobbes
I breaking my rib?
Nope. Any leader, elected or
all right. What am I doing?
Whether you wanted it to. His logic was that other countries absolutely viewed your country in this way. The king of a kingdom is representative of that kingdom's power and authority. He is not simply a man, but he represents the kingdom's powers to establish a trade deal, pay a tax, or raise an army, whatever it is. The king represents the executive power of the kingdom in the eyes of other kingdoms. So for Hobbes, he represented the commoners of that kingdom, even if those commoners didn't consent. There's an obvious question to ask Hobbes here, though. If somebody claims to represent you, why shouldn't you have a claim of what your representative does? This is where the philosophical justification for democracy began to be rooted. The understanding that being represented by a leader means that leader's actions are symbolically your actions, and so you should have some say in it. The second view is descriptive representation. This is what progressives are generally taught. Descriptive representation is primarily aesthetic, where being representative means looking like the population.
All right, I make this so I can have a better place where I can
or diversity getting shoehorned in where it makes no sense for the story. This is descriptive representation. John Adams mentioned this form of representation in his 1776 essay on government, how it was actually important for democracy. Principal difficulty lies in the greatest constitute representative assembly. It should
Fido. That's too expensive.
It should think, feel, reason, and act. Though it may be in the interest of its assembly.
Oh, nice. The actual shadows, huh?
Or in other words,
shadow of the elevator.
The map represents the actual land. Parliament should represent
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
How accurate should represent? It is necessarily abstract. You drew a map that was the same size of the area of land it represents, like a 1 kilometer squared sheet of paper to map out a 1 kilometer.
You don't need to actually adhere to the 5 tile limit, but you can go like 15 by 15 if that's what you want. This is just how I do it because I don't have a lot of resources.
Additionally, a regular sample of people may in fact represent representatives aren't chosen randomly. By the very nature of the job of being a ruler, representatives can never represent a group perfectly accurately. Descriptive representation came about as asking Hobbes that question. If the leader represents us, why shouldn't we have a claim for actions? Descriptive representation holds that leaders cannot represent populations if the leader doesn't know what it means to be a member of that population. But this view is still flawed. There is nothing in descriptive representation that demands the representative do what the representative want. For example, defund the police was a very popular policy position to take among black Democrats, even though your average black American generally doesn't support that policy. Their ethnic similarity does not mean aligned interests. Symbolic representation is the use of a symbol to present an idea. Symbols mean different
Continuing on to do my
things.
thing.
Means liberation, equal rights, and activism. It means degeneracy and groomed kids to the religious
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go.
These symbols are not actually these
We are
things,
kind of good.
They are mythic representations of ideas.
Now you won't even
resonating in the
see
observed
if there's a plane underneath. How good is that? So wait, I think I free-read from his confine.
Cannot be rationally justified, but it can be
I did.
through
Poor Frank. He's forever lost to us now. Oh well.
Pepe the Frog and Full Milk and the OK hand symbol were astroturfed to be Nazi symbols, which is basically just control.
Oh.
Nonetheless, symbolic representation is essential for all forms of political power, whether we like the government or not. All political leaders, whether they're democratically elected or they're dictators, though the effect is stronger with dictators, become symbols of their movements and countries. They represent the ideas and people they think as people. The expansionism of the 20th century was explicitly justified by being the true representative of populations currently out of control of the representative. Mussolini and Hitler spoke of uniting Italian and German into one nation. Lenin and Stalin spoke of speaking of the interests of worldwide marketplace. Many leaders from America and Britain post-World War II spoke about how the common people of the world yearn for freedom from the dictatorial governments and claimed to represent them in the name of the liberal project. Declarations stir common people to action, provide the moral justification for the current political. Here becomes the symbol of he holds. Substantial representation. Pitkin finally arrives at the core. Three other formulations never achieve what people actually want when they claim they represent. What people want at a representation is a representative who will act in, and the scale of the situation doesn't change. You vote for the leader of your country because you want
I need the awesome sync.
Think will be good for you. You vote for the treasurer of your high school club, expecting that he's not going to loot the end-of-year trip fund for himself.
But I don't want to.
Formalistic, descriptive, and symbolic representation all lack is a moral obligation for the representative.
How retarded it looks, huh?
As if the representative were themselves there, on behalf of themselves. A king or an emperor has no obligation to act. Absolute monarchies had to fend off revolutions from liberals and socialists alike because they felt no reason to react to the symbolified leader has no obligation to act in any specific way either. Saying that Hitler is the quintessential German or Mussolini the quintessential Italian didn't imbue these men with any obligations. And a person who aesthetically looks like him also has no obligation to act in a specific way. In what way does AOC represent the Latin community in America, given the massive difference in values between the hyper-progressive AOC and your average?
I'm doing this because I want to remember what I am doing. What am I doing?
In the UK, who happen to share the same skin color as him. It's here that Pitkin stumbles upon the relation of the principal agent problem. When a principal hires an agent to do a job, it sounds like a basic exchange. I pay you, you do a job for me. But it's actually not that simple. Both the principal and the agent have their own self-interest. If those interests aren't aligned, the principal has to pay the agent not only enough money for himself, but also enough money for the agent to disregard his own self-interest and perform the principal's interest instead.
Screw, I do that.
Power, as it comes with access to the principal. So the agent must also be incentivized, either through interest or additional reward, to not betray the principal to. Additionally, the agent necessarily has more information about what he's hired to do than the
First thing first.
Meaning that the principal has to trust that the agent is actually doing what he claims, at least until the negative consequences of a lying agent begin to be ignored. A good example of this is, imagine the king is asleep at night, and there are two guards on night shift. The king has to make sure that he's paid those guards well enough that they're not only guarding him, they're also not leaking information to it, or they're not going to turn on him.
Alright,
good.
Substantive
representation is necessarily vague.
Alright.
It has something to do with
I can have like that.
It can't really be nailed down. This is because sometimes what
I
people
want
think they want is not actually what they want. This is called revealed preference theory, an idea coined by the economist Paul Anthony Samuelson in 1996. He believed that regardless of what people tell you, what people do is a more accurate descriptor of what they want. Let's say that you claim to prefer ketchup over mustard on your hot dog. Then you order a hot dog with mustard instead of ketchup. Your actual choice, mustard, is a more accurate descriptor of your preference than what you outwardly claim. Samuelson's insight proved valuable For example,
But I
people might
want-
publicly voting for party or candidate
Alright,
due to peer
what I'm
pressure,
doing
so
is
political
to do with it.
radicalization.